What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. I throw in the spookiest day of the year, and who knows what the WWE has in store for the universe. Join us now as we look at this week's Halloween episode of the Red Brand, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including CM Punk done with wrestling, several WWE releases, incredibly sad news for Carmella and Corey Graves, new women's tag team champions, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and our non-wrestling channel, Incredible. Now, as always, we won't recap the matches, but just provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Brock Lesnar does whatever the hell he wants to. And since when has Brock Lesnar followed the rules? This was obvious last night as Lesnar skipped his sit-down interview with Bobby Lashley, instead appearing in the ring and calling the Almighty out. Naturally, Lashley charged out and all hell broke loose, with the two engaging in a brawl that looked more like the Battle of Armageddon. Even Triple H showed up, threatening to cancel the two superstars' crown jewel match if they didn't back off. Number 2, explaining a match. Fans may have been surprised to hear the WWE announce Austin Theory vs Seth Rollins, but Theory quickly explained things with a pre-match interview, explaining he didn't take kindly to Rollins questioning Theory's ability to successfully cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase. Theory's egotistical nature made it a given that he wouldn't let Rollins' remarks slide. As we'll see later in the news, this heel versus heel match may have been the start of a babyface turn. Number 3, what you would call a banger. Austin Theory vs Seth freaking Rollins TV match of the year? It might just be, as the bout told a sensational story of Rollins' experience, initially overwhelming Theory, but Mr. Money in the Bank showing the fans and Rollins his incredible ability to think on his feet. While Rollins deserves accolades for his performance, he didn't carry Theory, and he showed that he has what it takes for the main event level. Let's hope the WWE realizes this sooner than later, because Austin can be a game changer wherever he works. Number 4, I'm the greatest of all time. Roman Reigns kept it real last night, telling the fans he wasn't going to be dishonest with the fans and hype out an outsider like Logan Paul. And that was for the wise man to do, as Heyman talked about how Paul had steel pins in his hand and how he was training with Shawn Michaels. Heyman reminded Roman of Paul's alleged knockout punch, leading to an interesting exchange when The Miz showed up and warned Roman that Logan Paul's knockout punch was no lie. The Miz offered to take Paul out if Roman would deal with The Miz's problem, i.e. he who shall not be named. Roman agreed, and he said he had one question for The Miz. Why is everyone talking about Logan Paul's knockout punch and not his? Reigns delivered a Superman punch, KOing The Miz and reminding fans just how dangerous he is. At the same time, this continued the storyline of Reigns possibly underestimating Paul, which conceivably could lead to a surprise title change. Number 5, One Night Only. Otis vs Riddle was a fun match that harkened back to past Halloween shows on Raw and even Saturday Night's main event. Alpha Academy's ridiculous costumes as Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze from their Saturday Night Live sketch as Chippendales dancers was funny, although we're not sure how many fans remember the 1990 segment. But it was also funny seeing Riddle dressing up as Elias's brother Ezekiel. The match featured several silly but enjoyable spots, including Chad Gable giving Otis permission to do the worm, a move he hasn't done since his babyface run, and Elias putting a giant pumpkin on Otis's head and Riddle RKOing him for the win. Number 6, MVP's chilling promo. MVP's short backstage promo told the fans everything they needed to know about Saturday's Omos vs Braun Strowman match. Braun can wreck motor vehicles, tip over ambulances, and do everything short of wrecking a skyscraper, but he's never faced anyone like the Nigerian giant. Number 7, JBL still has it. JBL still knows how to play the crowd, cutting what looked like a babyface promo to his fellow Texans only to turn on them, labeling them as snowflakes and snowflake enablers. Now, we've been saying it for weeks, JBL has already proved himself as an asset to Baron Corbin, and Corbin is quickly learning not to let JBL steal his thunder during his promos. This looks to be the beginning of a beautiful partnership. And at number 8, new tag team champions. Asuka and Alexa Bliss returned following their storyline injury at Damage Control's hands with one goal in mind, to take Dakota Kai and Io Sky's Women's Tag Team Championship. The Empress of Tomorrow and Wrestling's 5 Feet of Fury were on a mission, with both women showing an intensity that proved too much for the champions. This title change was unexpected and a good way to keep the feud between Damage Control and babyfaces Bliss, Asuka and Bianca going. But that was a good what about the bad, as number 1, a weak opener. And Nikki Cross vs Bianca Belair was a weak opener for Raw because fans have been conditioned to expect Cross to lose. Equally weak was the WWE's decision to have Cross lose the match. While fans weren't expecting Nikki to defeat Belair, the WWE could have ended the match with a DQ or a countout, or at least give Cross some momentum. The only good part of this match was the WWE continuing the mystery of why Cross is attacking faces and heels alike. Number 2, Mustafa Ali. Where are things going? And just when it looks like Mustafa Ali is getting a push, he has to deal with a win over The Miz. Wait, what? How could a win be a bad thing though? Well, in Ali's case, he needed the help of Dexter Lumis distracting A-lister to secure the win, something that did nothing to make Ali look like he's a worthy contender for Seth Rollins' US Championship. And number 3, WWE Investigates. The last night's 60-minute style WWE Investigates segment with Byron Saxton and Johnny Gargano was one of those intelligence-insulting pieces that had fans on social media wondering whether Vince McMahon is still booking the WWE. While it's just as likely that this was written by one of Vince's cronies, it didn't matter as it stunk. To quote Randy Orton, stupid, stupid, stupid. That was nothing downright ugly though, as last night's Halloween themed show featured nothing ugly, and while there were some questionable moments, the show delivered a fun Halloween themed episode and a decent lead in to the crown jewel. What'd you guys think of Raw last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now, first story looks at CM Punk done with wrestling. Atop of today's news is a rumor that CM Punk may be finished with wrestling. Dave Meltzer and Nick Hausman discussed the situation during a recent edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, with Nick Hausman commenting that he's heard from people in Punk's camp that Punk is finished with wrestling. Cash does not seem to be an issue for this guy. He's got inroads in Hollywood going in right now. Stephen Amell certainly shining him up with whatever they're trying to do over on Star's heels right now. I have a lot of people that have known Punk that say to me, this guy's never going to wrestle again. There are assorted reasons why Punk may want to retire from the ring, including bitterness over his experiences in AEW and the WWE, and uncertainty about whether he'd be welcomed back in a major promotion. However, Punk should ask whether his body is still up to the demands of the style he wants to work, considering he's suffered 2 significant injuries since his 2021 return. Do you guys think Punk is finished with wrestling? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, several WWE releases. Now unfortunately, there have been some cuts and it's near to the time of December, which is no happy thought. Several names have been released from NXT today. The names released are as follows: Bodhi Hayard, Sloane Jacobs, Erica Yan, Demarius Griffin, and Ru Feng. Of course, if there's any more releases, we will keep you posted. Next up, Bray Wyatt announced for Crown Jewel. There's big news for Bray Wyatt fans as he's appearing at this Saturday's Crown Jewel show. The WWE announced this on the Halloween edition of Raw, but now we'll have to wait and see whether any of Bray's spooky and kooky characters will show up, as well as whether the WWE will explore the Uncle Howdy storyline in Saudi Arabia. Next up, sad news for Carmella and Corey Graves as Carmella suffers an ectopic pregnancy. Now unfortunately, there is sad news to report as WWE superstar Carmella has announced that she recently suffered an ectopic pregnancy. Carmella, aka Leah Vandale, recently shared the news via Instagram. Carmella revealed that she suffered a miscarriage in September and was hopeful when she learned she was pregnant again. I was cautiously optimistic this time around after the early loss I already experienced, but I was hoping for the best. I spent 12 hours in the ER on Saturday when I started experiencing some sharp pains on my left side. After several tests and ultrasounds, I was given the devastating news that this was in fact an abnormal pregnancy. Carmella pointed out she wasn't looking for sympathy, but she wanted to raise public awareness about how so many people experience similar losses. The reason I'm sharing all of this is because in the moment it feels so isolating. Why does anyone ever talk about this? Again, I'm not looking for sympathy. I know I'll eventually recover from all of this mentally, physically, and emotionally. For anyone dealing with any type of pregnancy loss, I want you to know your feelings and emotions are valid. There is nothing wrong with you and you are not alone. I would like to send our heartfelt condolences to Carmella and Corey Graves during this incredibly difficult time. And finally, has Seth Rollins turned babyface? Well, last but not least, the WWE Universe loves Seth freaking Rollins, but has Seth turned babyface? Wrestling News pointed out some clues from Seth's match against Austin Theory that Rollins is back to being a babyface. Rollins got a big babyface reaction from the fans, and the production team focused on fans who were singing along to his theme song. Rollins also high-fived fans and was clearly playing the babyface during the match. The fans haven't been cheering Rollins for some time, but it's also easy for fans to cheer Seth against someone like Theory, who is a natural heel magnet. What do you guys think? Is the Visionary turned babyface? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.